We know that digital methods can improve the negotiations with employers on what they need. We also know the apprentices like it because they're very aware that they're going into a digital workplace. So now we look at how digital makes a significant difference to both learner and employer while the apprenticeship is running. The virtual learning environment, or VLE, is especially important. At White Hat, they make full use of their Fuse platform to support their apprentices doing independent learning.
So the approach we take with that is we think of each learning episode in kind of a monthly chunk, and the apprentices will be set their pre-work through Fuse, so that things can be shared directly with a group of learners or a specific learner, and the expectation is set that they will then have prepared that before the coach goes in to visit them, which sets them off to a much more rapid start in the learning. And then we then set the post-work, the follow-up work on Fuse as well, and any reminders, announcements, news in between will be sent out to them through Fuse. And in terms of tracking or kind of completing 20% of the job, we track that entirely on Fuse, and it's up to the learner to be logging that, and it's the coach's responsibility overall to check that that's been done. But we explain and kind of teach the apprentices exactly what constitutes 20% and what doesn't, how to log it on Fuse, and sort of what kind of tools they can use in the workplace to enhance that.
At Fashion Enter, they use online resources in the same way on their Brutus learning platform.
We use Brutus, which we upload our work to, and it tells you, like, helps you out. I have little workbooks. I do maths on there as well, so that has little videos teaching me. They have little workbooks and videos of tutorials of people teaching.
So the tutor tracks and encourages this independent learning tailored to each apprentice. Another example from Basingstoke College of Technology is to use digital communication technologies like FaceTime. The great benefit here is that the tutor can observe the apprentice's work without having to travel.
Using the FaceTime, I don't have to take up the employer's time. They like that because it means that it's not interfering with their work. They're not having to wait around for me. So, for example, if I was actually physically going to see someone, I've then got to plan the journey carefully so that I get there on time. But it normally means that they'll have phoned me a couple of days in advance or a day in advance and said, well, Steve, we're doing this today. You'll need to be around sort of mid-morning. And then, as most people know, you get stuck in traffic. That doesn't happen and it all falls apart. Then the employer gets a bit cross because it means they're waiting around. There's not just one person waiting around, there's a couple of them waiting around, and it's costing him money. Can't get to the next job until I've gotten there. Whereas if I FaceTime someone, literally phone them up. The observation's over and done quickly. I can take notes and write up or even type up while I'm doing that, get the photographic evidence I need at the same time, and I can load it all up. It's so much easier.
Zoe describes how this helps them to get employer buy-in.
But if we're going in and saying, well, actually, you know, if you're happy for them to take pictures on their phone, this is how quick it is. We go out, we show the employer how it works, we show them on the iPad, this is how quick it is. They're not going to be stood at the photocopier running off 50 pages of anything and then scanning it back through. We get them to buy into it as well, and we're not going to email you for witness statements. We could ring you, we could voice record it over the phone, or your learner's going to come in and ask if they can record it on their phone. For them, straight away, it's not just time saving, it's money saving, because it's productivity, isn't it?
And young learners love to be creative with the technology as a way of showing what they can do.
The program itself called Photoshop. So in there we have we can get pictures from internet and we can play around with them and things like that. Or we can have we can take a picture of something and we can play around with them, put some lights in them or create something different out of it, cut them or paste them and put someone else's picture in there, edit them and things like that. So we do a lot of different things with it.
The apprenticeship programme will need to develop these digital skills as a natural part of what the learners are doing, to motivate their learning, to prepare them for using digital skills in the workplace, and to improve the way learning and assessment fits with the employer's needs.